Hi everyone, I'm Gary Shapiro. 60 years ago, this was the front page of the Rocky Mountain News. It's a picture of Lee Harvey Oswald under arrest for killing President John F. Kennedy, himself getting shot and killed by a man named Jack Ruby. The iconic picture was captured by Bob Jackson, at the time a photographer for the Dallas Times-Herald. He went on to become a longtime newspaper photographer in Denver and Colorado Springs. In today's Positively Colorado, Bob Jackson remembers what it was like in 1963 when he was riding in the motorcade a few cars behind the president when he was shot, and then 2 days later when he took one of the most famous photographs in history.
We were busy working those days, not really stopping to think about the magnitude of what happened. It was a job that I loved, and we were just fired up to do a good job that weekend with this gigantic event.
Although the president is running behind schedule, he pauses momentarily to shake a few hands.
There may be no better feeling for a news photographer than doing a good job on a story. Bob Jackson knows all about that. 29 years old, working for the Dallas Times-Herald. He was at the airport to take pictures of President and Jackie Kennedy greeting the crowd in Dallas. When the president's motorcade made its way through the city, Jackson was with other photographers 7 cars behind Kennedy's. He had just taken the film out of his camera to hand it off to a reporter. His camera was empty.
That's when we heard the first shot.
But apparently something is wrong here. Something is terribly wrong.
And then 2 more shots closer together.
Jackson knew immediately the shots came from the book depository building in front of him. He saw 2 people on the 5th floor hanging out a window looking up to the 6th floor.
But then I, of course, saw the window ledge above him, and there was a rifle resting on the ledge, and he drew it in.
When history happens, there may be no worse feeling for a news photographer than to have an empty camera. Bob Jackson missed his chance to record one of the most famous moments in time. Little did he know he would get a second chance 2 days later.
So my assignment was to go to the police station and photograph the transfer of the prisoner.
Lee Harvey Oswald was under arrest for killing President Kennedy. He was at the police station, about to be taken to the county jail.
So I'm looking through the camera. You know, I must have checked the wind lever half a dozen times to make sure the film was wound, you know.
When history happens, there may be no better feeling for a news photographer than to time your picture perfectly.
And somebody's stepping out from my right, and you know, this guy's getting in my way. And he shoots and I shoot.
Jackson's picture is iconic. Jack Ruby holding the gun up, Oswald impacted by the bullet, screaming in pain. Dallas Police Detective Jim Lavelle reacting to it all. But in the days before digital photography, you really didn't know what you had until you developed your film.
And I held the wet film up to the light, and it looked really good. It looked sharp, but I couldn't be sure how sharp it was till I got a magnifier. But I remember letting out a yell of some sort.
Bob Jackson took thousands of pictures during his career. He started out shooting car races. It's where he honed his profession. He got other pictures of Oswald that day, including an amazing one of him being loaded into an ambulance after getting shot. So many other emotional pictures over time. But one stands out. One earned Bob Jackson a Pulitzer Prize. One is still special 60 years after it was taken. For a news photographer, there may be no better feeling. With Manny Sotelo, Gary Shapiro, 9 News.
What an incredible shot there.
Absolutely.
Wow. Bob Jackson retired after his amazing career, which included time at the Denver Post and the Colorado Springs Gazette. He now lives in Manitou Springs and enjoys times with his wife, kids, and grandchildren.
And if you have a story that is positively Colorado, you can send them to Gary at gary.shapiro@9news.com.